Welcome everyone. This presentation covers network attacks, the techniques attackers use to disrupt, intercept, or manipulate traffic across a network, and the defenses that stop them. We'll walk through 14 common attack types, how each one works, and how security teams prevent it. This is core knowledge for anyone learning penetration, testing, or network defense. Let's start with the basics. What is a network attack? A network attack targets the protocols, the devices or traffic that make a network function. Attacks can strike at any layer of the TCP/IP model, from IP addressing up to application traffic. The impact ranges from service outages to full data theft. Fortunately, layered defenses like firewalls, intrusion detection systems, encryption, and strong authentication close most of the gaps the attacks rely on. IP spoofing area. IP spoofing is a foundational network attack. The attacker forges the source IP address inside a packet headers, so it looks like it's arriving from a trusted device, tricking systems that rely on IP-based trust. This can bypass simple access controls or set up bigger attacks like denial of service. Defenses include ingress and egress filtering at network borders, packet authentication, and properly configured firewalls that reject spoof traffic. IP scanning also. IP scanning, also called reconnaissance, is usually the first step of an attack. The attacker sends ICMP, TCP, or UDP probes across a range of addresses to map which hosts are alive and which ports and services are open. This information tells the attacker where to focus. Organizations defend against this by disabling unnecessary services, deploying intrusion detection and prevention systems, and tightening firewall rules to limit what's visible from outside. Denial of service is a denial of service attack floods a server with far more traffic or requests than it can handle, exhausting its bandwidth, memory, or processing power. Legitimate users are then unable to reach the service. It's typically launched from a single source. Defenses include rate limiting connections, firewall rules that drop abusive traffic, and traffic filtering that separates normal usage from a flood. Yet, distributed denial of service in DDoS. Distributed denial of service takes the same idea further. Instead of one attacker, a botnet of many compromised devices floods a single target simultaneously. The combined volume is far harder to absorb or block than a single source attack. Organizations defend using content delivery networks to spread load balancing across servers, and dedicated DDoS mitigation services that can absorb massive traffic spikes. In the middle attack, the attacker quietly inserts themselves between two parties that believe they're communicating directly. Using techniques like ARP spoofing or a rogue gateway, they can read or even alter the traffic passing between sender and receiver. This threatens both confidentiality and integrity. Strong defenses include HTTPS everywhere VPN encryption for sensitive traffic and mutual authentication, so both endpoints verify each other's identity. Session hijacking lets an attacker take over a session that's already been authenticated, so they don't need the victim's password at all. This works by stealing a session token or predicting TCP sequence numbers to slip into the ongoing conversation. Once inside, the attacker has the same access as the real user. Defenses include SSL and TLS encryption, secure session management practices, and multi-factor authentication to limit the damage of a stolen token. Smurf attack. A Smurf attack abuses ICMP broadcast amplification. The attacker sends echo requests to a network's broadcast address but spoofs the source as the victim's IP. Every device on that network replies all at once to the victim, multiplying a small amount of attacker traffic into a flood. Prevention is straightforward: disable IP, directed broadcasts on routers, and keep router configurations locked down. Ping flood A ping flood is a simpler volumetric attack. The attacker sends a continuous stream of ICMP echo requests, ordinary pings, at a target, consuming its bandwidth and CPU resources until performance degrades or the service goes down. The fix is straightforward: rate limit ICMP traffic and use firewall rules to cap how many pings a host will process. Ping of death. The ping of death exploits how systems reassemble fragmented packets. If the attacker sends oversized or malformed IP packets that, once reassembled, exceed the maximum allowed packet size, crashing vulnerable systems. This is largely a legacy attack today because modern operating systems and firewalls handle malformed packets safely, but it's a good example of why patching matters. LAN and D attack. A LAN attack crafts a packet where the source and destination IP address are the same, tricking the target into replying to itself. On older, unpatched systems, this loop can exhaust resources and crash the machine. Modern operating systems patch this behavior, and firewall filtering can also catch and drop these malformed packets before they cause harm. Uh, Teardrop attack telecoms on. The teardrop attack targets how systems reassemble fragmented IP packets. The attacker crafts fragments with overlapping offsets. So when the target tries to put them back together, the reassembly logic breaks, crashing vulnerable systems. Like the ping of death, this is prevented by keeping operating systems updated and by running intrusion detection and prevention systems that flag malformed fragments. There's a fragmentation attack kill you. Fragmentation attacks are about evasion rather than brute force. The attacker splits a malicious payload into small packet fragments, hoping the firewall inspects each piece individually and misses the danger in the whole. If a firewall doesn't fully reassemble fragments before inspecting them, the malicious content slips through. The fix is to require full fragment reassembly and deep packet inspection before traffic is allowed through. Uh, routing attack. Hi. Routing attacks target the infrastructure that decides how traffic travels across a network. By injecting fake routing updates, an attacker can redirect traffic through a path they control, opening the door to interception or disruption. Defenses include routing authentication, so routers only trust verified updates, and secure routing protocols designed to resist this kind of manipulation. DM Dashajiva. G reflection attack. A reflection attack amplifies traffic by using innocent third party servers as unwitting participants. The attacker sends requests with the victim's spoof IP address. G so those servers send the replies straight to victim instead of the real requester all at once. Defenses include validating source IP addresses at the network edge and disabling services that can be abused this way. Baga defense in depth kana. So what ties all of this together? No single control stops. Every network attack defense works in layers. Filter malicious traffic at the network edge with ACLs and ingress or egress rules. Detect what gets through using IIPS and log monitoring. Encrypt traffic with HTTPS, VPNs, and IPsec so intercepted data is useless. And build capacity to absorb surges with rate limiting, load balancing, and DDoS mitigation. Together, these layers close the gaps any single attack relies on. Thank you. Understanding how these network attacks work is the foundation of both penetration testing and network defense. Every attack we covered exploits a specific weakness in a protocol or process, and every one of them has a proven countermeasure. Keep studying each TCP IP layer, stay current on emerging threats, and always test defenses before attackers do. Thank you.